trans who wanted to file a complaint for being rejected was reported for not saying they are trans.
The guy I was dating just reported me for not telling him I was trans.
Life sure takes some turns, doesn't it? This person had tried to report that guy before because he rejected them. Here's some context about what I'm saying. Pay attention.
I ended up reporting him in the end. Why? Because we had gone out 3 times and everything was great. But on the 4th date, I told him I was trans, and then he said he wasn't interested. According to the latest reform of the trans law, any act that involves discrimination against a trans person just for being trans is grounds for... it's grounds for breaking the law. So I've already put the case in the hands of associations and lawyers.
And yes,
I'm happy because it's true that I know it's a controversial decision, but I'm sure it will set a precedent.
just imagine, this person had reported that guy first. Well, that's what's important. This person had reported him, but it turns out that the guy, not stupid at all, went and said, "Oh yeah? Well, I'm going to report you for not telling me you were trans." Things are getting interesting, so let's see what else they have to say.
So I'm in quite a mess. Because he claims he spent money taking me out to dinner, taking me to the movies, helping me with some things. Thinking that I wasn't trans. Let's see. Of course, I told her all of this yesterday, just being honest.
Let's see. Here we are facing a pretty peculiar situation, quite a particular one. Because usually trans people claim that if you're dating one of them, everything goes well, the date is great, everything is flowing, and suddenly that person tells you they're trans and you reject them. It means that you're engaging in something phobic, something terrible that violates all their rights. Seriously, that's what they say. They treat this as a discriminatory act. It's complete madness. It turns out that this time, the guy says, yes, you lied to me. You were hiding from me that you were a trans person. I invested my time, I invested my money with you, and you hadn't told me the truth. And now we're facing a very peculiar, very particular situation. Honestly, it's nonsense. It's ridiculous. And something like this shouldn't happen. However, it does happen, and it's part of everyday life in society. But let's look at this article that tells us a bit about the first case. That is about the trans person reporting the guy for rejecting them. Because there are a few interesting things here. They tell us this is what we've come to. A trans person reports a guy because he doesn't want to go out with them for being trans. According to the latest reform of the trans law, any act that involves discrimination against a trans person just for being trans is a violation of the law. The video below quickly went viral. A trans person explains that they reported a guy because he decided not to keep seeing them. Upon finding out that she is trans, she says they went out 3 times and everything was fine, but on the 4th date she tells him she's trans and the guy says he's not interested. Let's take a look at this comment because I think it really reflects what I think about this. Confusing the right to non-discrimination with the right to force someone to desire you is the peak of cognitive dissonance. I totally agree. If you hide relevant information and then try to report someone for the resulting rejection, you're not seeking equality, you're seeking coercion. Reporting out of spite is absolutely real, very, very true. This comment, in fact, right here, already hints at what the guy would end up being, not the victim of this person. And it's that he tells us if you hide relevant information and then try to report someone for the resulting rejection, there it is. You're not seeking equality, you're seeking coercion. Very, very true. This is the reality. The protagonist of the story explains it and her reasoning has no flaws. Protected by the trans law created by Irene Montero is a Spanish feminist and lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender ally, who, as if that weren't enough, is also a defender of the Ayatollah's regime in Iran. She's also a defender of Nicolas Maduro's tyranny and Castroism in Cuba, regimes that destroy all human rights imaginable. But she proclaims herself a defender of human rights. Apparently not for Venezuelans, not for Cubans, and not for Iranians. But anyway, here they comment to us, This transgender person says they're happy, even though they know their decision will cause controversy because they believe it will also set a precedent. This isn't the first case we've seen of transgender people complaining about being rejected for a date. I don't get it. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? One of those people said. But a complaint had never gone this far before. Do you remember this person here? I don't know if you remember her. I mean, at the time, about 2 years ago, it went super viral. We even made a video about it on this channel. I want us to watch it carefully, please. She wanted a date.
With a guy at 10. It's already 10:15. She didn't reply to VDL until 4 p.m.
Goodbye.
And all of this fine. For being a trans girl, what fault is it of mine to be a trans girl? I didn't choose to be a trans girl, okay? Why do I have this damn problem with every guy I tell that I'm trans?
It's really clear. Why do you have it? It's super obvious.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
Well, basically, you're not a biological woman. It's that simple. And those men are obviously looking to have a woman, to start a family. Some of them, others aren't. Others just want to have a good time. But with a biological woman...
The thing is, this is the first time this has happened to me, and it's going to be the last.
That's right, sadly. But rejection is part of life. It's something totally normal in the world to be rejected. And those people have the right to reject you. They don't have to accept you if they don't want to. Are there people who would want to go out with this person? Sure, and that's great. But the harsh reality is that more than 90% of men are going to reject her. It's understandable.
I just can't take it anymore. I can't, because I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, what's happening to me. I mean, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be like this. I'm a woman, a mother.
I don't regret it, but no, that's just the harsh reality. You're not, no matter how much you try to convince yourself that you are, no, you're not. I respect your identity. I respect how you perceive yourself. A trans woman is totally fine with me. However, sadly, you can't compare yourself to a biological woman, and you have to understand that the vast majority of men are obviously going to reject you when they find out the truth. So, the best thing a person like that can do is be direct from the beginning. I mean, from the very first moment, be direct and say, you know what, I'm a trans person. Do you want to go out or not? And I think that way you avoid problems. And sadly for those people, they're going to face a lot more rejection. That's the reality, a lot more. But will there be some men who are willing to go out with them? The way things are now, this person at least was crying and complaining in front of the mirror. But to get to the point where you want to report it, it seems crazy to me. But anyway, this guy is filing a complaint against this trans person. Personally, I think it's a complaint that won't lead to anything. Neither the trans person's complaint against the guy, nor the guy's complaint against the trans person. I mean, both complaints are nonsense, they're ridiculous, I even think they're a waste of time. However, it's important to point out these cases because they could become much more common and frequent as the years go by. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and I'll see you next time.